Hi guys, what is up? So, a few years ago, I started this video series called Let's Try It Cooking Edition, and, well, I didn't like the name of it, so I'm changing it to Let's Cook It. And so, on this episode of Let's Cook It, I'm trying a recipe that is kind of a morph between one thing and another. I'm sure you guys have all heard of cake pops. Well, I like cake pops, but I hate the annoying stick and the process of taking the stick and dipping it over and over again and becoming a challenge. And, well, I came up with cake drops. The same thing as a cake pop without the stick. So, I've already cooked my cake, I've started crumbling it, and I've got a ganache and some chocolate melts. But I'm going to make these a little bit different by injecting them with Reese's spread. I've looked online for recipes using this, and I haven't seen hardly any. But I thought it would taste good. So I'm gonna reposition the camera, and you guys can watch through the process, and I will explain to you what I'm doing. Okay guys, camera is repositioned. You're not going to see me, you're gonna see my hands mainly. But in this big pan here, I've started taking a cake. I just baked 2 9-inch cakes, and I'm crumbling them and trying to get it as fine as I can, just like you would when you make a cake pop. My cake is still kind of warm, but I was too excited to get started, and I've got to be somewhere. But what I do is, I've watched online where you take cake and rub it against each other and it falls apart, but I just kind of reach in and just pull it apart myself, get it more in pieces, and then grab a handful and kind of rub it between my hands like this, and it falls apart pretty easily. I'm going to finish doing this, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay guys, I got the cake into fine crumbs. There's a few large ones, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. The cake is very moist already. I can already kind of form a ball with it, but it falls apart very easily. It depends on what kind of cake you use, I guess, and how soft or how moist or however you're going to need to come up with the balls. So the next step is adding ganache. And ganache, for those of you who may not know, is just heavy whipping cream poured over top of chocolate, like semi-sweet chocolate chips, and stirred until it is nice and smooth. I made this a little bit ago, but you're going to pour some of it in. Do this in portions, don't pour all of it at once, because if you add too much, you will end up with a mess. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time, and I guess I can use this fork instead of the spoon I was going to use. And you're going to stir it in, and keep an eye on it, because you're going to want to look for a consistency of kind of like a Play-Doh. Very moist, and once you get it stirred in a little bit, you can get your hands in there. It's a very messy recipe, but it's a fun recipe. So we're going to mix this in, get it in real nice and good. Try not to miss any spots, make sure you get it all in there. Massage it well. Let's massage it. It's really messy, but I like getting my hands messy, and yeah. So when you get the first batch incorporated, grab a bunch, make a ball with it in your hand. Try to roll it, see if it'll come together. This one is not, and we try to make it again, just to be on the safe side. Maybe I didn't have it tight to begin with. I'm gonna roll it again. It's coming together, but it's not to the consistency that I want. It's still trying to fall apart on its own. So I'm going to add a little bit more ganache. I don't think I need to add too much more, because I'm getting very close to it being the consistency that I am looking for. So I'll just add a little bit. Stir this through, and it might look weird that I made so much ganache. Well, because I wasn't really paying attention to a recipe. But there's other options you can use the ganache for. Like, we have fruits and stuff here that I can like dip into it and like chocolate covered strawberries and stuff. Everything's good with ganache on it. Okay, well, I'm gonna knead this through a little bit more. It kind of reminds me a lot of like a brownie batter. Now, you don't have to use the recipe that I'm doing for this. You can use multiple different kinds of cakes. You could use a carrot cake, and you could use cream cheese icing. You don't have to use ganaches either if you don't think you like the taste, because a ganache is very rich compared to a chocolate icing. Let me get some of this out and break it off. I don't want huge pieces, but I don't want small ones either. The good thing with this recipe is that you don't have to make them a certain size and expect them to stay on a stick. You can make them bigger, you can put things inside of it, like I'm gonna put the Reese's. But this one is coming out very good. It is a nice, firm ball, still kind of squishy, still has some give, but it's a good size. So when you get to this point, you're gonna take and you're gonna stick them on some parchment paper and keep rolling out more of them until you have the whole entire parchment paper completely covered. And then you're going to pop it into the refrigerator for about 15 minutes just to get them firm, and the melting chocolate will stick to them. So I'll get to that point and I will be right back. Hey guys, so I accidentally deleted the clip where I am injecting the Reese's into each of the cake, the cake drops. My mind went blank. But I've got just a bag. It's a Wilton icing bag. I just put the Reese's straight into the bag itself, and then I have an injector tip on the tip, or on the end of the bag. I'm tired, and I'm trying to get out of this house and finish editing this video. But I've just inserted it into each of the cake balls, and I squeeze. I'm not going to squeeze now because I do not want this coming out. And I just filled it until I felt the cake start to expand a little bit on the inside, and then I pulled it out, and that's how I did it. Sorry about not getting the clip in right. Okay guys, I got all the Reese's spread inside the cake balls that I wanted to have it. I ended up having more of them than the other because I just wanted to use up what was in my bag. But now comes the time to dip them into the melting chocolates. I got light cocoa because with being such a rich cake, the ganache and the Reese's, I thought that toning it down with the sweetness of the outside would be a great, would go nicely with it. So I've got here a plate with some parchment paper on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to put one of the cake drops on the fork and lower it down into the chocolate. I'm going to use the fork to ladle chocolate over the top of it. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing because unfortunately the way my phone is today is facing the other direction than me. But I'm going to coat it, and then I'm going to pull it off with just the fork under it. I'm using a fork because it lets excess chocolate flow through it. I'm going to kind of tap it on the side here just to get excess off. I don't want a whole bunch on here. And then I'm going to take and lay it onto the plate next to it. Now, while the chocolate is still not set, and it was still runny, I'm going to sprinkle on a few of these peanuts on top of it and just let them sit there and move on to the next. Repeat the process, and then I'm going to put the plate in the refrigerator to help set the chocolate all the way. And when I get done with all of them, I will be back and we will do a taste test, and I will tell you guys what I think about my made-up recipe. I'm excited because they actually look good. Okay guys, I have finished them, and oh my god, they look so amazing. This one here is a Reese filled one The nuts and everything on it are amazing. They look beautiful. And what's left is to take a bite and see how amazing my creation really is. Oh my god. This is heaven. I got the peanut butter. Sadly, I didn't inject as much as I thought into this one. There's not much into it, but I get the flavor of it. And these are really, really, really rich. I knew they were going to be. That hits my tummy in some happy places. And they finished chewing. The plain ones didn't come out as pretty as the peanut butter filled ones did. Mainly because I was running out of chocolate. I should have bought 2 bags of melted chocolate instead of 1. It got so bad to where I just had to kind of drizzle on the top of some of them. Like this one. It's not even covered, it's just drizzled. But all in all, I'm happy with the recipe that I came up with. And they are really good. And I recommend you guys trying it. Sadly, I don't know what quantities I used. I just did it by ear, by eye. I just, let's try this, let's try that, and everything. If you do want to do these, you can try to put like Nutella inside of it, maybe Hershey spread, use a white cake, and you can like decorate it with white chocolate, or there's even like, there's so many different kinds of different melting chocolates and melting candies. Candy melts, and they get the right name for them. Different colors, and you can do all kinds of things for all kinds of, any kind of occasion. But anyways, these were just, I woke up and was like, I've got to try these things. They were just in my mind. But that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to me if you are not, because I am going to be doing all kinds of different, more of these. I just can't talk. I'm just so excited over these. I'm going to be doing all kinds of these different Let's Cook It's. I'm changing my whole channel names up. Let's Try It is still going to be around, but Let's Try It is going to be more of trying brands that are out on the consumer shelves for you guys to try. I'm doing Let's Review It, which is where I do reviews on different products and stuff that I am using it currently. Also, a product that I will be reviewing soon is a shout out to my best friend Christian, who bought me a tripod, which is holding my phone right now, and it has done amazing work today. So I will be reviewing that product. Gosh, I'm going to be doing my vlogs, of course, which, I don't know, I haven't really been working on them much anymore. I've been trying to plan anything else up. But anyways, I'm just going to ramble on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go so I can get these things put into little boxes that I'm going to be taking out to friends and stuff to try. And I have chocolate on my fingers. As always, toodles.